Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, I may have caused the problem, but it isn't my fault. Protocol is whatever you say it is. Threatened to be fired for asking customer to download free software. Computers need to be plugged in. What to thunk it? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. I may have caused the problem, but it isn't my fault. At work, we have a service, henceforth known as Service, that allows us to automatically send emails, create workflows, the works. TT even used to let us tweet, even though we never used it. Basically, it is a reporting service that reads our database, determines if the info is ready to send, and sends it away. We also have an external report outside this service that makes sure nothing is hung up in the service. It looks at what events are firing, and if an event stays there for more than 1 minute, it alerts us that there is an error. Well, we now have a satellite location and have 10 machines that are being looked at, so the report that caused this fiasco is taking a bit longer to execute and fire. Precisely 1 minute and 1 second. This means that during peak hours, the IT department, me, and the VP get an email that there is an error every 30 minutes, and it looks like we aren't monitoring the logs well enough. This machine error report is defined in the service to run every n minutes, where n equals 1. So I have the wise idea to change it to 1.25. During the exact same week, we move over to Office 365, so reports are failing front, back, and side to side as we are migrating everyone over. Then the errors subside, and the three groups above feel good about our accomplishments. We go home for the weekend, and all is good. Until Monday morning, where everyone claims to have not gotten reports. We scramble to check all of the emails work, and they do? The external error email isn't bugging me, so no errors are detected. I manually send some reports, even creating reports from scratch to try, and they all work with the new email. What gives? I submit an urgent ticket to the service's parent company and pray for prompt relief. The next morning, I get the email of "Can you get on now?" from the service rep. Yes, I can, thank you, my hero. Looking into it, there doesn't seem to be problems. Everything sends correctly when manually sending them. I offer the really bad advice that maybe it just isn't checking these reports. After more investigation, Service is sending reports that are every Sunday, or at the first of each month. It seems only every n minutes reports are busted. The service rep looks into the admin logs, and there it is. Cannot divide by 0. What? Oh. I know what it is. So apparently, despite Service allowing me to enter the number and not giving me an error, Service cannot actually read decimal numbers, only integers. Service freaks out and treats the 1.25 as 0. The service rep, who is fantastic, laughs and says that it shouldn't have let me do that. It is more or less a defect that he will make sure is fixed in a future update. This just happened to line up exactly with the same date we upgraded to Office 365 to complicate things further. In my defense, I may have caused the problem, but it isn't my fault. The rep laughed and agreed. I thanked the rep, gave him a good dad joke, and we went our separate ways. Protocol is whatever you say it is. Network cabling for an international bank. Monday, 7 a.m., woken up by ringing cell phone. It's the project manager. Are you in the data center? What? Are you in the data center? Roll over in bed, fire up laptop, VPN to the bank. No emails about any emergency. No missed projects I drank through. Work doesn't start for an hour the very least. What's this about? Call me when you're in the data center. Oh, there's the hangover. One subway ride later where those in scrubs are about equal in number to those that need scrubbing, I'm sitting in the data center alone. Get called by a turret guy. Are you in the office? Yeah. So, they closed the 6th floor. They closed the 6th floor early last year. Yeah, but now they shut off the switches. Okay. And the turrets that we used to test the recorded lines went down. And these turrets, are they on the 6th floor? Yeah. Sounds like a you problem. We didn't expect NOC to shut down the switches. Check my email. Oh, now I'm included in an email chain that spans 4 departments in 3 countries that date to late Saturday. Well, at least I wasn't called on Saturday. So let me get this straight, did NOC not inform you that they were doing this? No, they didn't. Ooh, a scream test. And apparently there was lots of screaming indeed. Mostly in my head. So what do you want me to do? Can you put the switches back? I'm network cabling, not network operations. If you want, I can throw AM on a different switch in a different telecom room on a floor that wasn't shut off. December of 2019. But you're carrying them for me. Let me call my boss. Yeah, that'll work. Just one thing, they can't rest on the floor. Why not? It's unprofessional. Why start being professional now? Get a text from the straw boss. We have an idea for a solution as to the turrets. Text back. Is it moving them to another floor? Yeah, can you do that? Do you know where I can get some rack shelves for the turrets? Just steal them. Thanks for putting this in text. I'd hate to think protocol wasn't being followed. Threatened to be fired for asking customer to download free software. Recently stumbled upon this place. I wanted to share my experience that turned me into the bitter jaded engineer I am today. Names have been changed to protect the innocent. I was a newbie, 6 months into the job. I'd been handed a case, fairly simple by the looks of things, should be a simple reset up of their configuration files, so I call up the CHAP. Customer, hello Codon Unstoppable, I have been expecting your call. Me, good morning Mr. Customer, how are you today? Customer, I am most relaxed, I went snowboarding over the weekend you see. Anywho, I'll save you the whole story, but we were getting on like a house on fire. He asked me to call him by his first name, which was very uncommon at the time. However, things took a dark turn. Me, okay, so if you download this piece of software I can gain access to your system with you now, and we can get the resolution implemented. Customer, why do I need to always be downloading software? Me, if you just download it, it's free, and we can get this issue resolved. Customer doesn't want to hear any of this. Why? Why? You think all I can do is afford to download this expensive software? You are the worst, this is how you make your money, you should be fired. Etc. etc. I lost track of how long this went on for. My manager claims that I just sat there apologizing over and over until I finally snapped. Me, right, listen to me, I will send over a guide as you're unwilling to download free software. Click. I begin working on the guide, it's got screenshots, helpful tips, took me 3 hours to write it all up, all the while I'm getting pings from our customer-facing teams saying that I've really upset this customer and they're trying to get through to my manager. Eventually I hear my manager get called, and he says yes, this customer threatened my engineer, so he's doing things differently this time whilst giving me a PM to call up the customer. Customer, all good, finally, I trust you have my solution? Me, I most certainly do, I'm set to email it to you now, and this'll be the last time we speak. Customer, wait one moment please. I hear him move into a second room. I want you to know, I know people in your company. I can get you fired if this solution doesn't work. I will ensure you never work again. Me, by this time I've had enough. Okay, please feel free to raise any concerns you may have with my manager as you know him so well. Customer, oh believe me, I will do. Anywho, I send over the document, should take around 4 to 5 hours to implement the changes. Within 25 minutes I get a call. Customer, IT isn't working. I demand to speak to your manager now. Me, okay. At this stage I transferred the call to my manager. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but my manager then called me into one of our training rooms. Manager, okay, so, tomorrow we've agreed to one big call, you, me, your mentor, the customer, and his manager. How certain are you about your solution? Me, 100%, I'll implement it if I have to. Manager, good CHAP. The next morning, I get to work super early, double and triple check my solution, airtight. We all gather for the call. I'm quite literally S* myself at this stage. He joins after his manager. Customer, so, Codon Unstoppable, show me this masterful solution. Me, happy to do so. And so begins what I expect to be the longest 4 to 5 hours of my life, but imagine my surprise. within 5 minutes the system starts working again. Step 2 was to engage the config file. Turns out he hadn't done that at all. Me, and we're back. I honestly wished I'd said something funnier, but I was really tired. Customer, this is a conspiracy. You're trying to get me fired. Me, to this day my finest moment. You mean like you tried to get me fired? Customer manager, okay, I think there is some bad blood here, we shall end the call now. Call ends, my manager comes up to me, smile from ear to ear. Manager, I'm proud of you, CHAP, he called everyone chap. Long story short, I stayed at this company for going on 6 years. I'm now actively involved in training our new recruits. Every 6 months I retell this story as an example of no matter how much they shout, you can't get fired. As for the customer? He still works for the company. I know this is our system won't assign tickets from him to me following this. Apparently I'm still trying to get him fired. Thank you for reading. If you want more let me know, I have many more. Computers need to be plugged in. Hoda Thunkit. In the previous night's second shift, one of the production employees unplugged one computer in order to charge his personal cell phone, which they're not allowed to have on the floor anyway. Third shift complained that they couldn't work, and instead of using the other computer that's located less than 10 steps away, they chose not to report any production. Mind you, the unplugged computer was not intended for the line they were running, but they like using it better. They're all the same image and hardware, so I don't know what that means. At around 5:30 a.m., an hour before their shift ended, they emailed their manager and our manager that they couldn't report production since second shift. They didn't bother telling anyone else, like, say, IT. 7 a.m., we get an email from our manager. None of the computers on the floor work. It continues to say that this is unacceptable, and that we must always have working computers. He ended it with I don't care what you need to do to get the computers working, do it. Install bigger hard drives or whatever makes the computers faster. We replied back with a picture of the single computer that was unplugged, explained that it was one computer that they unplugged to charge their personal phone, that the other 20-something computers were all working perfectly fine, that there is no IT restriction that can be placed to prevent someone from unplugging the computer, and that we can't be 24-hour babysitters to a bunch of adults, nicely of course. Well, I guess, as long as we install bigger hard drives or whatever makes the computers faster, we'll be set. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.